Hey, it's Kevin from JJ Hat Center. Today is a very strong sun. It's kind of a little glare in my room, so I'm trying to deal with it. Consider it moody. I'll try to stay towards this side here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about trying to make some of these hat creases ourselves. Start with a blank canvas, kind of just open it up, and learn the most basic of shapes, the center crease, which almost all the other shapes are based off of that. From there, you can turn teardrop, and then you've got your center point, you've got your center marked, you've also got your height marked with that crease. You could go lower, higher, over here. You're marking your height as well with that center crease. So you do that, you open the back, so you modified your center crease, you pinch it. There's your teardrop. The only thing missing is that your head goes inside, Probably raise it up, make a little bubble like that. So we like to make the bubble a little neater. It's kind of like a nice moody film noir type of thing, so you want the shadows and everything to be right. So what I generally do is I hold it in different lights and I actually look at the shadows, and I'll look there, okay, so this little curve is not very curvy, it's kind of like wrinkled looking. So we want to, smooth it out. The smoother lines are going to come from the lines you make after you steam. If they look wrinkly, it generally means you didn't steam it deep enough. One common novice mistake on a teardrop is to go a little off center like that. You see one side. I'm going to say it's not a novice, it's just common. I do it too, and then you fix it. Sometimes that comes from the hat actually having some shape and snapping back into it at certain points. You just go and you fix it, you adjust it, get it right. I like it to be flat, but somewhat of like a smile shape there in the back, like here, You got your shape, you pinch it in. Another common mistake is going too low here. So let's raise it up. Okay. So you get what I'm saying. You don't want that to be super, super low. But the back should be a little bit lower than the front generally. But then again, it's your teardrop, so you do it the way you like to do it, To me, you look at this shape and you look at that shape, this shouldn't be much thinner than that. It just doesn't look even. It should be at least the same or bigger, But use this as a guide. You want to double this up on top, so if this looks too full in comparison, you're too high on that side, Alright, good start. You can pinch it in. Okay. Now let's start from the very beginning. And I guess I didn't play any guitar. Now let's play a little bit there. The most basic thing you always have to learn, generally, is the center crease. Because essentially all of the other shapes come from the center crease. So when somebody asks me to make something like a teardrop or a diamond or whatever shape, I generally start with that to mark the height So let's say, you know, we wanted to start at this height in the front and this height in back. You know, I kind of picture that. Looking at a side, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we want a super high front. We want it to be lower in the back. Not that much lower. We want everything to look high, okay. Got a nice curve. So that sets your height of the hat. That's what you do. You look at it, you imagine it, you know, pinched and finished and stuff. Okay. So my technique is generally you steam everything out. If you have an old center crease, that's going to get in the way. So you want to steam, 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 and on the inside kind of like that. So you're steaming here and you're also kind of rubbing, like if you have a crease this way, rub the other way against it to undo those old shapes and stuff. So steam, steam it, give it some steam. A really good thing to do is if you can stretch it over something. If you have like the bottom of a pot or something that's this shape, stretch it over that, you know, so that this is nice and round and cylindrical, and you could, I mean, you don't want to go crazy, but there are things you can use, like a styrofoam or a glass hat, what do you call it, one of those heads, you know, those like ornamental heads that the wig shops have. You can put that in there and just steam the felt, get it nice and hot and, you know, slightly wet from the steam only, no water. And then you use that form as a kind of a smoother. You're smooth, you know, you're spinning the hat on it, but it's a nice cylinder. And what it's doing is it's getting out all the wrinkles because you're pulling against it. Okay, so once you open up the crown as best as you can, another technique is steam it and stuff it. Stuff it with something really soft, like that soft cellophane you get from the dry cleaners. I don't know if they still like really soft cellophane or tissue. Put it in. You could even use a few rolls of toilet paper would work. Just, you know, get it all out, get it all out. Stuff it in as hard as you can. When you get to the end, you know, go higher and just push, push, push. So everything is completely like tight and stuffed, you know. You don't want to rip it, but what you want to do is get it like that, then steam it. So all your old creases disappear. Let it go. Take it as soon as the hat is dry. So whatever that takes, you know, it could take you half an hour. If you feel you want to leave it overnight, do it. Let it dry completely. I'm going to say if you use a fan on it, you could get it to dry in, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. But I would generally say more is, you know, you want it to be 100% dry. Of course, it's a technique of drying and steaming. So if your hat is not completely dry, the steaming technique doesn't work really. So for instance, let's say I want to steam a center crease. I want to steam only this front area. I want it to be wet and hot. The rest I want to be dry and cool. That way when I do this, only the middle shapes and the sides remain hard and they don't shape. So you want to direct the hot and the wet in certain spots when it's out of the gutter. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. First thing is hold the hat you know, lengthwise, the long way this way, and look at it, you know, from a bird's eye view. What I like to do is find the center like a bullseye. This is how you make a center crease. Find that bullseye. Okay, so it's here. Okay, turn it horizontally. Okay, remember that bullseye, and I take both thumbs like this right in the bullseye, and I pull outwards towards each side. When I get to each side here, to the ends, it stops. There's a little pressure that keeps me from going any further. So it's kind of like, it's like slicing a thing of bread, and it stops. I went a little too far because I kept tapping on it, but that's it. Let's see if I can do it again, a little more in the camera. So I always do it horizontally. I'm sorry I said vertically, it's horizontal. Okay, so I put my fingers right in that bullseye and I go outwards and it stops. So it's kind of like you're getting no resistance, and then when you get to that end, it stops. It doesn't let you go any further. Sometimes I need to neaten it up, just make it a little symmetrical, going like this inside on both of the little wings. Okay, making sure there are no wrinkles. See if I like the center crease. Always look at your work from a bird's eye view. Another thing that you do is when you're checking your pinches, you want to always check your two pinches, the side pinches, at a bird's eye view, because you want to see how far they go back. If this one goes to this, whatever, 4 inches there, you want the other one to go 4 inches also. So you don't want one going here and one going way down there. So they should be the same exact length on each side. The only way to check that is by looking after you pinch it. Okay, I'm going to pinch it. Is by looking at a bird's eye view. Okay, I could tell this side is longer. Now I'll go adjust it by putting my fingers inside, just pushing the back of that. Pinch up a little bit. That's it. I also like to get the shape in front here. That. It's kind of like a little, I don't know what that shape is called. But that's the shape, the dark part. You can see the pinch is light here. This dark part in front, it's almost like a volcano shape. Like a Close Encounters, what do you call it thing? Devil's whatever. Yeah, Close Encounter shape. So that's what you're going for though. Let's try it again. Look for the center. Press down, go out. Okay. And I'm gonna, right here, I'm gonna fix it up by squeezing. Kind of squeeze it, and I went back and forth inside there to make sure it's smooth. Okay, now to do the pinches, I'm going to put a couple of fingers inside in here for resistance. So they're going to go in there. Put my fingers in there, right in the center. Then I'm going to take 2 other fingers. I'm going to grab it, not at the top of these pinches, but a little bit below. I leave a little bit of meat, and then I go under that bit of meat. That's it. As high as I can, just leaving a little bunch of, like a little oblong bunch of fabric up there. That's it. So grab it not at the top, but right below the top, the side of your 2 fingers that are inside, and just go back. Now check the length of each one from a bird's eye view. Center crease has to be done well, otherwise the hat is thrown off. Then if you're going to do a teardrop, the teardrop is based on a center crease. You're essentially bringing the back down and you're widening it too. So with the teardrop, with the center crease, actually the fabric or the roof of the hat is going into the crown and giving you a little bit less depth in there. You can see that little mountain in there. Okay, so that's less depth for your hat there, for your head. So if you've got a 4-inch crown, if you count this center crease, you may have only 3 inches of clearance inside. The teardrop is the opposite. Instead of going down into the crown, it comes up out of the crown. So this is what I do. I take the back and make a horseshoe shape, kind of like a U shape. Try not to pinch it in yet. I'm just going to use my finger against it. Okay. Horseshoe it out. Now I'm kind of used to do it, so I naturally made it also down at an angle. I didn't do it perfectly straight. One of my problems is I go a little too far sometimes. So let's pick that up. Okay. Alright. Next thing you want to do is you want to make those pinches. I showed you how to do it before. Pinch them in. So you've got almost a teardrop. You want to round out this area. You want to blend that horseshoe thing, this part, into that part, to the V. So what I do there is I just go around. I just pinch it and just keep going. Just keep pinching around. That's it. But it is about being symmetrical in back. You don't have to make it like a smile. It could be straight across. It does generally look good, better, lower in the back, higher in the front. If you're not into that extreme sweep, it doesn't have to be extreme, I'd say. And you could also cut some off here too, very easily. So it's kind of like going up, there, and down. That's a very common way to make a teardrop. Just lower it right in the front. Just tuck it into itself. Just went down there a little bit. And honestly, the best way to make this is really to stick your head in. Trace it. Trace your head. That way you're making an impression of the person's head. You're not making it really high, that bubble just as high as they need. There you go. There is your teardrop. You go back and fix the height if you're not happy with the height. It's kind of a low crown. It doesn't take well to teardropping, in my opinion. You gotta find the baggier, bigger crowns will look really good with teardrops. The more modern sort of like tapered crowns, they're just not gonna look as good because there's just not enough room there to make a full teardrop. Right, but we're really learning how to make a center crease here. Okay, let's try it again. In the middle, out. Okay, I'm going to take these and spread them out a little. Always check that. Just from grabbing the hat, it tends to get squeezed together, so you have to kind of open it, like spread it open every once in a while. Okay. Check it. 2 fingers in the middle. Grab it not at the top, but right under the top. And back. Look at a bird's eye view. Check, make sure they're going back to the same area. They're usually not. Also check here, make sure it's symmetrical there. You want this to be symmetrical. That's it. You want to make the pinch tighter, put your fingers in there and just kind of squeeze your fingers inside, so instead of being like that, they get squeezed. That's what I did. So I just kind of squeeze it to one finger. From the one finger, it's easy to just kind of grab it and make a really tight pinch. But, you know, you don't want to do that kind of stuff while it's wet or freshly steamed, because that will stay, you know. Unless you're like me, you just don't really care. This hat has been, you know, reshaped so many times. It doesn't really matter. Center crease, in the middle, out. Pinch it. Let's try it again. A little slower. Okay. Find the center. Press down and to the sides. Okay. It's a little hard to do that way. I just try to do it this way. Side, fix it up. Two fingers. Bam. Bam. So tell me, champ, think you're gonna win the fight tonight, champ? What do you think there? There you go. That's a proper center crease. But that's how it goes generally. This hat's a little dogged up right now. But learning how to make a proper center crease is real important because all of your other shapes are going to kind of be based on that. If you're doing a cattleman crease, it's kind of like a triple. It's like I take 3 fingers, I make it like a claw, almost like a letter E. And I get them real rigid, kind of like claw style. And I just, cattleman it. That's that open road thing. So it's all kind of based on the same movement. And if we're going to do a center crease, turn that into a teardrop. They're all based off the center crease, so getting that right is going to get all your work right. I'm going to say this, it's very important to start with a good canvas. Like all these wrinkles on the side, you want to get rid of them. You want to steam the sides and pull it against something, a nice curved side or even a flat side. What I do is I pull it from this side against something that's nice and smooth while it's steamed. Let it dry. Like a cylinder, a coffee can or something. I don't know. Something cylindrical. Bottom of a vase. Stick it in there, you just get rid of the wrinkles, and you open it up so it's as round as you can be. Also, you don't want to stretch. You're not putting that much pressure on it. It's kind of like just enough that you're letting the hat guide you. That's important. Too much, you're actually stretching the hat. So I'm going to say, use a little pressure, not enough, but not enough to actually stretch the hat. That makes sense. Open it up, get a good round blank canvas, symmetrical thing, Find the center, to press and out towards each corner. Just a little down and then out. Then the middle you might have to squeeze in a little bit right here to fix it up. And when you're doing it, think your height. You want your front to be a little higher than your back, maybe. You see the way I did that? That was kind of instinctual, but yeah, think about that. This time I did it a little bit differently. So what you're doing is A, you're setting your height. B, you're setting the center. You're finding the center of it. You want those nice graceful shadows and stuff, Kind of M shape. It's soft. There's no curves. I mean, there's no square lines. It's very soft. Smooth, soft shadows. And like with a teardrop, it's very angular. You're going to see a lot of, like straight lines and stuff. Teardrop, or even a diamond crease. But I think the beauty of the center crease is that it's very round, very soft. It has a graceful form to it. And this hat's been stretched out to all whatever, but I think you get what I'm saying. It's one reason why I like the center crease. There's a simplicity to it that a less is more quality, which I think looks really, really nice up, or brim down. I'm going to show you another hat I have. This one. Okay. See the shadows on that? Center crease. Doesn't have the film noir kind of wrinkled quality, but you know, that's the way I like my hats. You know, I like the soft shadows, the softer rounded lines and stuff, you know. Brim up. I like this little area there. I don't like a really tight pinch. I always have that little. And I like those shapes, the stock shapes, the way they came out of the factory. 2 pinches and a center crease. Very round, symmetrical, elegant, simple. That's it. The beauty of the center crease and how to make one yourself.